Hello, we are back again. Today it's March 17, 2011, and we are going to talk now about how to use technical analysis to evaluate the stock market indices. And I'll be talking a little bit about strategies also, and a little bit about some stocks I'm following today and that might possibly generate an entry today. So let's go to MetaStock and take a look on the S&P 500 index. And the S&P 500, as I mentioned yesterday, had reached the minimum, the low of the previous day, and that changed a little bit how I was seeing the market. I imagined, or I had the feeling that the market could go sideways for a while before testing those levels. But how the market behaved yesterday, and I mentioned that during my presentation yesterday, means that my expectation, for me, the market's going to test that support probably beginning of next week. And the type of movements the market's making today, it's pretty much rest on the downwards movement. I don't see a change in trend yet. So my expectation is that we are going lower. Maybe tomorrow we are going lower, and most likely next week we are going to find support around that region here. And by that point we will have very good entry points in a long position on several stocks. The Dow Jones is behaving pretty much like the S&P 500. They are really working very well in very good harmony, and the downtrend is still prevailing, like in the chart I showed before, which was the S&P 500, and I expect that the Dow Jones is going to find support in that region here around 11,000, 450. That's the next support level region that I expect for the Dow Jones. We had an uptrend during the day. Now we are again going down, and we might even close very close to the low of the day. Let's see. The Nasdaq opened higher at that support level, and now it's starting to head lower again. And the predominant force in the Nasdaq is also the bear force. And I mentioned yesterday that I expect that Nasdaq will find some support in the 2150 region. That's where I expect some very good support for the Nasdaq in the next few days. Probably early next week we are going to reach those levels. In Toronto, the S&P TSX Composite, it's stronger than the other ones, and I mentioned yesterday that this has a lot to do with the expectations about Canadian companies supplying goods for the Japanese reconstruction. So we see a lot more strength on the Canadian market, and some Canadian companies like BMO, Bombardier, or Canadian banks in general, and some Canadian manufacturing companies, or Canadian supply or natural goods, let's say, companies like oil companies and mining companies are showing a lot more strength than the market as a general. So the TSX is trading higher today, but like the US counterparts, the volume is still very low, and we have only 2 hours for the closing bell. I don't expect any more volume coming into the market in those last 2 hours, and so the market should be heading down for the rest of the week, for tomorrow and next week too. Maybe Monday, Tuesday, market is going down again. Before I proceed here, I would like to add some comments. Frequently my clients, when they start studying with me, they ask, well, you mentioned so many strategies, what really works in the market? There are many strategies that do work in the market. Most of the newbie traders, the wannabe traders, or the investors that look too much to the news, they are always looking for a setup. In other words, a place to buy, to go long a stock. And the setup, it's not really the most important thing on trading or investing. It's very important, first of all, to have a plan. A lot of people that I meet do not have any plan. They buy because a guru mentioned the hot stock, the hot pick of the day, but they have no clue when is the moment to sell that stock. Is it when you have 10% profit, when you have 20% profit, 100% profit, when you have 10% loss, 20, 100% loss? When is the right moment to sell a stock? Or when you are investing, or even if you want to be an investor in the company, you want to own the shares, you want to participate. No, that's a great company. I want to participate, I want to own shares of that company for many, many years. It's very important that you know what you need to do to mitigate risks, to control risks. All along, from the beginning, when you enter the market, till the moment you exit the market, you need to be controlling risks. And to have a very good plan on trading or investing, you need not only to know the strategies, but you need to know what works for you. And it's very important that you prepare something that is really tailored to your personal conditions, capital you have, and time you'll be involved with the market. Everything plays some major or minor role on a plan and on the success of that plan. So basically what I mean is that there are many things that work in the markets, but there is only a handful of things that are going to work for you as an individual, you the trader, you the investor. So you need to be conscious, make conscious decisions, have the proper knowledge to make those decisions, and it's very hard, almost impossible for anyone else to make that decision for you. So that's what I usually say to my clients, my students. So let's go back to charts, and now I would like to talk about a few companies. For example, Bombardier in Canada, it's making a very nice recovery today. It's up, I would guess here, about 4 or 5%. but that's not what is important. What is important is how Bombardier behaved the last few weeks and how the last 2 days behavior was. And today's behavior also, it's very important for me to make a decision. I'm not I did not buy yet. My decisions for the type of strategy I'm considering for Bombardier are done at the last half hour or so of market, half hour to 45 minutes before the market closes. That's when I make decisions for that strategy that I'm considering for Bombardier. So Bombardier, it's one of the companies I'm considering. It's in Canada. Other one that I'm considering in Canada, where is she? I don't see the chart here. Let me open again. Okay, the other one is Bank of Montreal. Bank of Montreal in February made a very important move, breaking a very long downwards channel and had enough strength to proceed higher. In the last few days, BMO is correcting and it's showing some signs of have found a support. Today might not be the entry day. Looking at the charts now, I see there are some conditions that are not being fulfilled. It's very unlikely that BMO will have enough strength to fulfill those conditions until the end of the day, but it's one company I'm considering. Maybe next week will be a very good entry point for BMO. In the US, one company that I like a lot, and it's making an interesting move today, but I don't think it will fulfill all the conditions. It's Conoco. Conoco made a very nice correction, very smooth, good. I saw it as a trade opportunity or investment opportunity for Conoco, and I'm really considering entering in Conoco, even though I don't see all the conditions filled at that point. And since we are so late in the day, I don't think those conditions will be fulfilled. Another company, or in such case an ETF that I'm considering, it's USO, United States Oil Fund. Very nice movement the last few days, great behavior, but I don't think all the conditions are being fulfilled at that point. It's not bad, it's very tempting, but as traders we should not fall for temptations. We need to follow a plan. It's better to lose a good entry. Oh, it was a really a good point. In hindsight, I see it would have been a wonderful trade. Would made me piles of money. Forget it. The trade needs to be really according to the plan. It doesn't matter to analyze what happened in the past. We do not trade the past. We cannot trade yesterday's close. We have to trade current price, what's happening now, and that's where we make the decisions. It's really at the hard right edge of the market. So forget about what if, or it could, or in a hindsight. In a hindsight, everyone's a genius. So do not be too much concerned about this. It is important to look what happened in the past to make sure you have a good strategy, and you should not be tweaking your trading plan all the time, but from time to time, and that makes part of the planning of the trading as a business. From time to time, it's important to review and analyze your plan results. Well, what I had to say today was this, and I would like to thank you all for watching, and you can follow me on Twitter. We have a webpage, www.taacademy.com, and our courses, webinars, and workshops are advertised there. We will have a new type of workshop coming up in April. It's a little improvements on my business planning workshop, and I'll be preparing a video for you to be acquainted with those modifications. But you can already apply for the April workshop at the website. Thank you very much, and have a nice day. Trade safely.